They were not dropping a letter patch on us, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a entire new gameplay update. So the idea of this gameplay update, I believe, is to move more classifications. I skimmed through just like the general patches because that's usually what I do, just to get an idea of what kind of patch we're looking at. So if you guys aren't familiar with 7.36, totally reworked the game. Everybody got an innate. Everybody got a couple of facets. A couple of other things were changed, including, well, if you just take a look at all these facets, right? Everybody, dude, big patch. So we got a couple of letter patches that did some tweaking. There was some things that were just broken. Things like Legion Commander, Axe was broken. Not like broken as in like not working as intended, but I think they were just a little majorly overtuned. So 7.37 came out today. Dude, like I said, I was just getting ready. I was about to go make some food, and I was watching Pokelol's live stream. But hey, we've got ourselves a patch today, so let's review it. If you guys don't mind taking a moment to like the video, I will get this video out as soon as possible so that anybody who's curious, you've got the raw dog facts. I'm a divine plus level player. I can give you guys some of the information here to maybe having it read out loud and analyze a little bit. We can run some things on the demo just to see how things look. Going to just kind of go through this patch here and assess what kind of changes are being made. So first thing I wanted to point out was the classifications. I love it when they add classifications. Yes, the workings of my brain love classifications because now I'm not going to go through every single one of these bullet points. When you add classifications to specific things such as teleport, you can have things that change teleports specifically. Now, I'm not saying this means that they're going to release an item that adds something to change to teleports, but for example, Boots of Travel affects teleport cooldown or teleport speed. Maybe they add movement speed based teleport. I have no idea. Whatever they're going to add, no idea. It could even be later in this video. However, teleport classification. Right? Lone Druid, Spirit Bear return, Templar Assassin, whatnot. This allows for them to create items in the future or abilities in the future that can change teleports specifically. Because without this kind of classification, what is considered a teleport? Chen's Divine Favor, is that a teleport? It could be considered as a global blink. Now it is finally classified. Very nice. So one thing I wanted to point out for you guys that I think is important, I'm just going to skim in so the area of effect icon has been added to tooltip, so items. So we can scroll down a little bit. Something we know is affected by the aura, we can look for it. Yes, so the radius, you can see it right there. Radius, magnetized radius, remnant, refresh, explosion radius. Both of those look like they would be increased, and I believe some Aghanims upgrades, such as for Doom, would also be increased, so keep that in mind. So they reduce auras, starting from his second death, Roshan now always drops Roshan's banner. I want to make this great PSA for you guys. Roshan's banner, dude. Some of you guys still don't know how the Roshan's banner works. Before, it was kind of confusing. It makes a buff for your creeps. They're stronger, so you put it maybe halfway through the wave, or you put it defensively on your high ground, or you put it near the enemy high ground to buff the creeps. That is no longer the case. Roshan's banner is a creep immunity. Keep that in mind. Please, please, please. I see it all the time. It's never on my team because I always grab the banner. If you do not know how the banner works, give it to somebody who does. It is a creep immunity and a small AoE. You can see the AoE if you mouse over it. So, they changed Roshan's banner. Roshan's banner now always drops on the second Roshan. And on the third Roshan, now drops Refresher Shard and Cheese during daytime. So on the Radiant side. Aghanim's Blessing during the night. So is that refresher shard and cheese during the day? So Radiant gets refresher shard, cheese, and Dire gets Aghanims. Is it Aghanims and cheese? I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. I believe that this is just Aghanims for Dire, which would be kind of interesting. Teleport time to Roshan outposts has decreased. Very nice. Very nice. As a support who likes to roam, that's very nice. I like this change. So I think that this means that you're gonna want to put vision on the outpost. If you are a support, now that this is decreased, if you're watching this video, PSA right now, abuse this. Put your wards up there, or just knowing that the patch came out, not everybody knows about this change, go use those. Roam, gank, kill. Breakability. The breakability rules of facets, innates, and abilities have been updated. Breakable, yes, has been added to all abilities that are partially or fully disabled by break. All abilities that are partially disabled by break have an alt tooltip line detailing break interactions. So they have the full list of them here. Darkseer Heart of Battle, Dark Willow Pixie Dust, right? Phoenix Blinding Sun. Those facets that are like passives, right? Innates that are passives. Just take a look through your favorite heroes and see which ones are breakable. Or when you're in a match against a hero, we'll say Slark. Are these breakable now? Can we see that? Breakable, yes. You want to break Barracuda? Think about it. You break Slark, he ults, and he's not healing because he's broken. Okay, keep that in mind, guys. That is another big buff to breakable. Just having this knowledge of your matchups. Okay, try it again. Is it not reflectable at all? Even when I target? Yeah, I just want to let you know I was targeting Void with this ability. See, look. Interesting. Very interesting. Pretty obvious. Is that fire individual? I would look through these. If I'm not covering your specific hero here, I definitely recommend going through and checking these out. But rest of these look pretty straightforward. Your shutdown actives can no longer be blocked or reflected. The following items had their behavior changed. Interesting. So you can't pretty much saying you can't remove a Lincoln Sphere with Force Boots. Multiple targets as well. Because imagine you hit Acorn Shot and it bounces off 3 Lincoln Spheres. Would be kind of funny. I am an Acorn Shot non-enjoyer, so I love that change, I guess. So Bracer no longer provides 3 to 6 damage. For Strength Heroes, it already applies 5 damage. If you see here. So 5 damage, 3.5 damage universal. So it gives you 100 health flat with a 1.5 HP regen. So Bracer was already the one out of the 3 I was seeing the most, I feel like. I think people were sleeping on Null Talesman. And I'm seeing a lot of bracers, and I think this is actually going to increase the amount of bracers we're already seeing. Because if you think about it, if you're getting 5 strength plus 50 health, you're getting 150 health. Now, at the 25-minute mark, this item is 505 gold for 320 mana and 1 HP regen, plus damage. I mean, it's not a whole lot of damage without the damage buff. I mean, 6 damage, it's still not even that much. I think this is overall a good change. I think this is going to make tanky heroes who are already building these, they're just going to be tankier. Bloodstone lifesteal decreased. the spell lifesteal multiplier from the Blood Pact is increased by 1.5 times, bro. But the duration is decreased. So you get a mega burst of healing. The health and mana were already nerfed. And now it's changing the way that the Blood Pact works. So passive lifesteal nerf, Blood Pact mega buffed. I think that this, because the duration being 6 seconds, you're already getting all of your spells off, assuming you have like a BKB on, or you get your one major spell off during the Blood Pact. You're pretty much getting its full value from whatever Blood Pact would be serving for you. For example, on Leshrac, who I believe is one of the few heroes that regularly builds this, you're turning on the Blood Pact, and you're life stealing for less time, but you're gonna get your 4 spells out during that usually. So now you don't need it for as long in order to get yourself to full health. So I think this is kind of like a buff. Personally, I might get hate for that, but 4 times, going from 2.5 times to 4 times. When you're increasing a multiplication value, that's absurd. That's absurdity. By that much, the passive, yes, you're weeping about the passive, but I mean, you get a paladin sword and it's made up for it. Plus the paladin sword buff works with the 4 times spell lifesteal by Blood Pact. So I think this makes Bloodstone actually mega viable as a save. You're at low health, you pop Blood Pact, and you use 1 Arcane Bolt and you're full health. So none of those have any sort of drawback to taking up a slot. It's only 4,400 gold. Any core could farm that. Now I'm just curious what kind of cores with spell that use spells would pick it up. So we'll see. Bloodthorn. The Soul Rend bonus damage on silenced targets from non-hero attacks decreased from 50 to 21. Papa bless, because Broodmother was so broken. I believe this is definitely specifically targeting Broodmother, but I kind of wish they would include illusions. Illusions are considered heroes because CK and PL also pick this up, and they do so much damage with this, especially if PL doesn't have the facet where he can control his illusions. I haven't been picking this up when I have the Divergence, but if you have Convergence, pick up Bloodthorn. It's actually super strong. Guard cooldown increased. I don't think that matters too much. Now, I want you to keep in mind Crimson Guard's strong on high HP heroes, not just strong in general. I don't think it's something you pick up on somebody that doesn't have a naturally high HP pool. Eternal Endurance magic resistance per stack decreased. Think something. I am surprised this is still in the game. I don't think it's the worst designed item ever, but I do think that this item has been nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed to the point where there were items before that were nerfed less and removed from the game and had very... Dude, I'm recording. Okay, Momo's gonna help us with the next item. Ethereal Blade. Ether Blast projectile speed increased. Not much of a difference in terms of the usage. I do think that it makes it stronger against situations like a Faceless Void Chrono, but it's not by that much. It's gonna make it better for burst heroes as well, because you're gonna have a harder time dodging this ability. Mend increased. Guardian Greaves also very strong. I think that just like a sustain, there's kind of a bit of a sustain meta. So when you have yourself a 45-second cooldown, that does make a difference slightly. But I think that the same thing with the Crimson Guard cooldown, you're kind of getting your one pop of this at team fight before the fight's usually over. If you do get 2 off, that's pretty rare, because especially with the Crimson Guard, you're trying to use it when your heroes have already taken damage, right? To get the heal. Now, you're probably still not going to use it twice. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. Health regen bonus decreased. Okay, Momo, you got to stay away from the mic. Sorry, my cat is on my lap and he's just kind of being a cat right now. Max health regen bonus decreased. So this item that was pretty niche pickup, but strong on the heroes it's strong on is still going to be strong on the heroes it's strong on, and it's not going to be much of a difference personally. I don't think so. 1.6 was already like strong, and I think changing it to 1.4 is negligible. I think it's still strong because having a percent based health regen, couple that with any regen amp like a Sange or something, and you're just pretty unkillable in regards to if this is good for you. I did see when I was looking through Herald replays, I did find a Herald gamer that picks up Heart of Tarask on Lion, and I don't think that's strong, but slow resistance bonus increase. So I'm guessing that's like a Sange change, or this may just be Heaven's Hellberg. Okay, so Heaven's Hellberg got slow resistance buff and disarm mana cost buff. So 2 buffs for Heaven's Hellberg, which is good. I haven't seen this item picked up in a while, and I think people sleep on it. I thought it was strong before, but having the mana cost decrease is actually pretty big because you're picking this up on heroes that usually have a diffusal blade. I feel like that a lot of the games I don't pick this up when it would be strong is genuinely because I have mana issues. But the disarm is strong still. Echo Shell duration decreased. So we did see that reflection got changed. Have I been covering the tooltips this whole time? Oh my god, I have been. I am so sorry. Heaven's Hellberg changes. Lotus Orb changes, so it's 5 seconds as opposed to 6, which I think is a good change because just having 2 of those on your team and having 12 seconds to reflect on a single hero is kind of nuts, but having 10 seconds still kind of nuts, but you don't really want to sacrifice 2 hero slots for 2 item slots for 10 seconds. 5 seconds, I think it's still good. It's still good. I'm still going to pick it up. It still does the dispel. 5 seconds is not that much different. You're still getting everything you want to do out in the 5 seconds that you normally would on a 6-second duration. Having it for 6 seconds was really long, and I think having it at 5 seconds will make it feel a lot better to play against. Mirror image illusion duration decreased. So this is just going to nerf illusion-based heroes and their ability to farm and shove lanes out. That 2 seconds is going to make a big difference because that could be the difference between you reaching that range creep or not, as well as making it to the next camp with your illusions. If you're microing them properly, you should be fine. I think this is still a good... It's still going to be picked up regardless. It's still going to be a PL core item. It's still going to be a CK core item. I just think that this is going to change. I think that they were really strong. Both of those heroes, just illusion heroes in general, are really strong right now. I would say aside from Terrorblade, and this is going to serve them just like maybe that less than 1% difference in their win rate. Maybe 1% too. I don't think it'll be that big of a difference in their win rate. Pavice buff because it's not being used to 175. Pipe of Insight, a strong item. I think this is going under my utility sustain. I've been picking this up on POS 5. Like, whenever I don't see myself playing a POS 5 that's getting a lot of kills, I pick up a pipe. It's just genuinely just super good. Barrier duration decreased to 10 seconds. Inside aura magic resistance decreased. I still think this is super busted. If you're not picking up a pipe, if your team just doesn't have a pipe and the other team does, you're going to lose. I still think this item is super good. I think this item has always really been super good, and I think that the Insight Aura is still nuts, even at 10. Losing 2%, negligible. 2 seconds, that does kind of hurt the pipe. I think that the barrier duration definitely matters more than the Insight Aura. But in 10 seconds, that is pretty much as long as a team fight normally lasts at its like peak. You know, you still have spells being thrown around after 10 seconds, but if you get this off, boom, right at the initiation or like around the time of initiation of the team fight, it's still going to get its full value, I feel like. especially on the heroes that are getting focused. You're gonna use up the whole barrier. Recipe cost decreased, so Solar Crest getting a buff. Pavice and Solar Crest, and I'm guessing does that mean that the physical damage barrier got buffed or no? No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's about the same. Or the health bonus, I mean. No, it's the same. It's just Pavice got a health buff. And Solar Crest. Now, if everybody remembers the time where Solar Crest is broken. Okay. Fade no longer requires the target to remain still. Fade no longer refreshes its cooldown if cast on self. Fade is now slows the target by 35%. And Fade can now be dispelled. Fade cooldown increased. So it's just like a poor man's Shadow Blade. Mario, I'm pressing ult. While invis. Can I do it while casting? Yes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't last that long, because imagine they have a stun, right? Like this.
Yes.
And then it doesn't last. And now you still get it off, right? So if they don't have dust to reveal, I think the first time you use this, you won't get punished. But I think every time, it's one of those items that you don't want to show until you're using it, because the moment that the enemy team knows that you have a shadow amulet and you're using it in the team fights, you're gonna get dusted. Now you're slowed for even more. Really, dude? Well, I'm keeping him here, but if he keeps biting me, I'm gonna have to move him again. Recipe change now requires Urn of Shadows Vitality Booster and a 900 gold recipe. No longer provides all stats, provides health. I kind of like this change. I didn't really find the all stats to be super useful, but I play Witch Doctor, and I build it on Witch Doctor. So I think that the 375 health will make this more of a support item as opposed to a core item, and I think that's overall a good change, because I do think that Spirit Vessel is just stronger and more fun when it's used by supports, because now I don't think you're gonna want to you're not gonna see invokers building this item anymore, and I think that this item was the most unfun when it was used by a mid invoker. Let's take a look. Soul Release cooldown increased. Soul Release damage per second decreased, and Soul Release health gain reduction. So we're seeing this at the same time as the spell Lifesteal bonus was buffed. So I think it'll still be served as a counter because the reduction was increased to 50%. But overall, it's going to be just kind of used once in a fight as opposed to 2 times, because you could get it off twice in 7 seconds. You're probably not going to get it off twice in a team fight in 10 seconds unless the fight lasts long or you're chasing someone down. Okay, so now this has a fluffy hat. Total cost is unchanged. Really, dude? No longer provides 2 attributes, now provides 125 health. So it's 125 plus the 375? With the vitality booster. I guess, how much? Am I dumb? How much does a vitality booster give? 250. Oh, okay, so it just adds the 2. Okay, great. Well, that is it for the item changes. So let's take a look at neutral items. Dig cooldown no longer ticks down if the shovel is not in the neutral slot. Oh my god. I both love and hate this change because I have gotten so used to just having trusty shovel in my backpack no matter what, if I'm a core or a support, so that I can get the uses out every time it's off cooldown and whatever. Always digs up a water rune when used in the river? I could totally see myself in the lane and moving to the river to use this for regen. Alright. Everybody say goodbye to Fairy's Trinket. Goodbye, Fairy's Trinket. Welcome back, Ironwood Tree. Wow. Your regular duration is 6 seconds. Consuming an Ironwood Tree doubles the heal amount. Wait, it says it right there. Is it only Ironwood Tree? I want to see. So we have it at 16 seconds. This is 32 seconds. GG tree. This is 32 seconds. Ironwood tree. Mega good. I could see myself getting an ironwood tree and then buying a set of tangos afterwards, because that's like mega regen. +5 all attributes. I think this is just good. Hear me out. Ironwood Talon. Oh god, all support players are all having flashbacks to Ironwood Talon, dude. I remember getting reported for not building Ironwood Talon as a support to do the chop on creeps. God, you know, I got low priority 2 different times because I didn't build Ironwood Talon to chop down neutrals. It was just unfun. It's back, but it's a neutral item. It's a neutral item. I'm gonna talk to my therapist about it later if it's still bugging me. Okay, let's not jump the gun. All attributes decreased. Pig out bonus speed. That's good. Pig pull was kind of weak, to be honest. Okay, so now provides 20 attack speed and 4 armor at a tier 2 neutral item. If cast on a tree. Okay, so I see what they're doing here. Philosopher's Stone and Trusty Shovel. Look, now has 750 charges. It depletes a charge every time it grants gold to the owner. When the charges are depleted, the item is destroyed and the owner receives an additional 375 gold. So what you don't want to do anymore is put this into your stash when you have a tier 3, tier 4 item. You just kind of want to get it all out. Boom, you get 200 bonus mana, 750 gold, plus 375 gold. That's pretty damn good for support. Like 1,000 gold to your net worth for free as a neutral item. Because the reason I say you don't want to have it in your inventory later in the game is because if you get it to break, that'll break around the time you have the tier 3 neutral items dropping, so you can just switch or go back to your trusty shovel. So just get it out, use it, and then use the trusty shovel or whatever else you have. Momo, you're really starting to bug me, dude. I swear to God, this guy only wants attention when I'm working. Attribute bonus for universal heroes increase from 7 to 8. I think that this item is already good, and I think +8's just gonna make it better. Okay, let's take a look at if you don't agree that People's Gift is good, I suggest as a support picking it up whenever you see yourself in team fighting a lot. If you're not team fighting a lot, I would go the Philosopher's Stone. If you are team fighting a lot, if you're playing like an intelligence support, then you get 15 strength and 15 agility, which is armor and health. And then if you're playing universal, you're getting 8 all stats, 8 strength, 8 intel for spells for mana, 8 agility for armor. It's not a whole lot, but I still think it's good. Vambrace now is a tier 3 neutral item. Main attribute bonus increased from 8 to 10. Other attributes, so just +2 to both, and +2 to the strength magic resist, +5 to the attack speed, +2 to the intelligence spell amp. It obviously makes it better, but is it good versus the other tier 3 neutral items? That's what I'm curious. So instead of Cloak of Flames, Psychic Headband, and Craggy Coat, I think Defiant Shell is my favorite on core, and I think Cloak of Flames and Psychic Headband are my favorites on offlane and support. I don't really see Vambrace fitting in here. I feel like every niche in the tier 3 is already fit. Tier 2, Vambrace was just like a good item overall because it was just another set of treads. Now you have it in the tier 3 section, and tier 3 already has its niches. Armor, magic resist, radiance, lower status resistance and magic resistance, that's good. It's better than the spell amp. 8% spell amp or lower their magic resist by 10%. It's actually outclassed. You get 300 mana for it too. And then I think S tier is Psychic Headband and Defiant Shell. In a pinch, you can grab Craggy Coat, and for the niches, you have Enchanted Quiver, Paladin Sword, and Nemesis Curse. It really just doesn't serve a purpose here. If you get Doubloon and Vambrace, I'm picking Vambrace over Doubloon. GG, I guess. I think Vambrace is kind of dead. Ogre Seal Totem now is a tier 4 neutral item, which is probably a good change, because Ogre Seal Totem was pretty overpowered. At 27 minutes, you get a free 4 staff, so let's take a look. So the strength bonus increase, cooldown decrease, damage increased. Nobody ever used it for the damage. I only ever used it for the damage when I was doing a Tormentor. That's probably the only time I can ever think in my head where I ever used the Ogre Seal Totem for its damage. It was when I was killing a Tormentor, so... Ogre Seal Flop can now change direction while flopping. Okay, that's cool. It's just like how it was in the Wraith Knight then. Or what was it? It wasn't Wraith Knight where Ogre Seal was introduced. Was it the Wraith Knight or was it Aghanim's Labyrinth? I don't remember. No longer cast. Okay, that's it for the neutral items. GG neutral items. Rest in peace, Fairy's Trinket. Rest in peace, Vambrace. Rest in peace, Martyr's Plate. Neutral creeps. No longer always cast Chain Lightning if attacked by lane creeps when pulled. Okay. They're nerfing Harpy Stormcrafter as a pulling creeps enjoyer. That is kind of sad, because I love killing my creeps. Giant Wolf. Intimidate. Total attack damage reduction increased. Lame. When I play core, I never dodge this ability, and it shows. There's probably why I lose games. The death throws, I really hardly ever see them matter except for when you're pulling. So now they just pull for stronger. I think that this means that the pull camps, the medium pull camp or whatever, the larger pull camp, not the small pull camp, but the bigger pull camp in the side lanes, is significantly stronger when you have the Hellbears. If they have Hellbears in them, you better clear those Hellbears or pull. Because if it kills the Hellbear and then it has the 120 attack speed to the Hellbear Smasher, that's a lot of damage. 60%. I think this is pretty synonymous. I think this is one and the same when it comes to the total output of these two. But if you pull with like a stack and you kill the Hellbear Smasher with a stack, and say for example you have the Trolls, now you have a set of Trolls that do 60% bonus damage or have 120 bonus attack speed, those creeps are dying fast. Okay, Ancient Granite Golem. I don't remember the last time I cared about these passives. Bonus HP percentage increased. And then armor reduction increased. So this is going to affect Beastmaster, right? That's it? Or am I wrong? I don't know. I just don't remember the last time I cared about these passives. I should probably say, that's it for the neutral creeps. Let's move on to the hero changes. We've got quite a bit to cover. I'm just going to skim through these and talk about whether or not they're a buff or a nerf. Let's go. Let's speedrun it. Abaddon, Font of Avernus ability reworked. Withering Mist, new innate ability passive can't be leveled up. Damaging enemies applies Withering Mist debuff. For 5 seconds, affected enemies have their HP regeneration, healing, lifesteal, and spell lives too reduced by 35% if they are below 40%. So Abaddon counters the save heroes. Abaddon directly counters Witch Doctor, counters Greaves, counters especially Oracle, and anything else like that. So 40%. It only affects them at 40%. This could be good in lane as well. If you have somebody who's tangoing up, just start hitting them at 40 when they're below 40%. They can't heal at all. You just remove their tango. Cooldown nerfed on borrowed time. Base health regen increased to Anti-Mage. That's good for his laning. His laning sucks. New innate ability passive scales with Mana Void. Attacks slow enemies based on how much they are missing. Okay, so this is just how it is. Attack slow enemies based on how much mana they are missing. Minimum slow at 50% mana and up to maximum slow at 0% mana. The effect if the enemy is no effect if the enemy is above 50% mana. And I believe this levels with the mana break. No longer an innate. So now he has Prosecutor as an innate, mana break as a passive again, which I think is good. I think that it's good, and it's more fun to have different innates than what was already a passive. Having mana break as a passive, L for lame. Persecutor, W for fun. Wombo. Okay, max mana burn rescales. Obviously they had it at 5, now they have it at 4. Same thing with the mana burn per hit. Okay, blink, Aghanim's Scepter upgrade reworked, reduces cooldown by 1 second after casting blink if your next mana break within 5 seconds is empowered, burning an additional 20% mana, preventing the target from regenerating or regaining mana for 6 seconds. And this debuff is undispellable. Quicking glancing at this Aghanim's upgrade. After casting blink, your next mana break within 5 seconds burns an additional 20% mana. So you blink. So Aghanim's Scepter changed. Take a look at this. When you blink, your next attack with mana break is mega strong, burns additional 20%, and prevents them from regenerating or gaining mana for 5-6 seconds, and it's undispellable. We might see the return of Anti-Mage. I'm not gonna lie, that seems kind of cool. That seems great. And I'm just gonna say it, it's counterable. And it's way more fun than whatever the fuck it was before. That illusion shit was stupid. Arc Warden. Looks like he got Flux and Spark Wraith. So you're seeing it with... It says that it's like nerfing the facets. But this really is just changing Flux and Spark Wraith. They're just different based on the facets. So if you're not an Arc Wraith... Or if you're not an Arc Warden player... This seems kind of confusing, but... As an Arc Warden player, this just indicates which one it is, because they're different based on which facet you have, and then that affects, say you're on order, your double has disorder. So if you're reading this and you're confused, that is just because it is the 2 separate types of abilities. And it looks like they both got movement speed slow decreased for disorder, and slow duration decreased for disorder as well. And then slow duration increase. So they just kind of moved some of the slow from disorder and moved it to order. I don't think this will affect Arc Warden that strong, but it does mean that these are going to be a little bit more balanced, which is good. I think disorder was definitely stronger in my opinion. I always ran disorder. Beastmaster. Wild Hunt passive, bonus attack speed per unit rescaled from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, because, okay, let's start with his innate. He's got a new innate ability. Thank something. Doesn't just have Inner Beast as an innate. Cringe. L innate. Fun innate. Rugged. Beastmaster's melee hero damage block chance is increased from 50% to 100% versus non-hero units. Okay. Cool. Yes, but not strong. Because if you think this counters something like Lone Druid, the bear counts as a hero unit. So this is good against jungling, farming lane creeps, and tanking. This means you tank tower damage, I think, and Eidolons. I don't think it's super strong, but it's cool. It's better than having Inner Beast. Oh, you know what? I gotta say it. It is good. It's not strong, but it's good. Thank you for changing it from Inner Beast. Thank you. Inner Beast, active bonus attack speed rescaled from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so there's just rescaling them because it is no longer in the innate. Drum Slam. Shortest drum interval increased from 0.4 to 0.5. Damage per strike decreased from 90 to 85. No longer increases stacks when attacking buildings. Okay, good. I think that this does nerf Drums of Slum as a split pushing and taking towers, but it does keep it strong. I think that it was a little overtuned, but the shortest drum interval increased from 0.4 to 0.5. That is good. Damage per strike decreased. Good. I think this is overall good change because Beastmaster is one of those heroes, and I don't really like that gameplay of just rushing Ags on any hero. I think it is kind of lame, but Beastmaster is one of those heroes that just kind of goes Ags first and then just scales up from there. So nerfing Ags makes it... I'm saying that it is good because now you actually have different choices. If you don't want to go Ags first, you actually have that choice. I still think Ags first is the best, and I still think it's going to be used to split push and farm a lot. But I'm glad it no longer is increased stacks when attacking buildings because that's cringe. Now provides full heal values when denying. Okay, Bloodseeker even more back into the game than he was already. Just saying. If you don't know what I mean by that, go test it out. Base intelligence increased. Streak extra gold increased by 10 to 20%. When getting a kill or assist on a enemy that has a killing streak, Bounty Hunter receives extra gold. More comeback potential from Bounty Hunter. That's very cool. 20%? That's crazy. 10% to 20%. If you don't know, percent-based, can't speak. Percent-based values are multipliers. So when you increase it from 10% to 20%, you're increasing by 0.20. So from 0.10 times to 0.20 times, but it's 20% value. That's pretty strong. That is pretty strong. Scepter cast range decreased. Shuriken toss damage decreased. Okay, whatever. Brewmaster Belligerent. New innate passive. I just learned the new Brewmaster Drunken Brawler. Oh my god. Don't tell me I have to relearn it again. Okay. Brewmaster gains 20% attack speed for 15 seconds when he comes out of Primal Split and 30% when he... And for 30 something. Brewmaster gains 20% bonus attack damage for 15 seconds when he comes out of Primal Split and for 30 when he respawns. Okay, but does the Drunken Brawler still work how it did? Okay, you still get the Brood up. What was it before? It was just this, but level 1. Now you actually have to put a level into it? Okay, I think... Okay. W game development. Thank you for making a innate ability and not just a passive and innate. Thank you. So it looks like he's still pretty much the same. He just has this... He has Belligerent buff now. Which I think is cool. This looks like it's... I'm not going to read all this. Sorry, you read it if you're a Brewmaster player, all three of you in the world. Seeing Red. Warpath can be activated to grant Bristleback 50% bonus attack damage and 50% bonus movement speed per stack, but limits the vision to a 90-degree cone in front of him. Wait, that's so cool. All Bristleback players rejoice. All of you that have pimples on your face and don't know what deodorant is, now you have a facet that doesn't suck. Congratulations. New innate ability. Also, W game development. I'm just going to say it every single time because actually adding a innate ability and not passive. New innate ability, passive can't be leveled up. Bristleback has 10% damage, debuff, duration, amp against enemy heroes that are behind him. 10% damage and debuff, duration, amp. Okay, that's not clear. Does that mean you take 10% less damage and debuff duration amp? Or does that mean you deal more damage and more debuff duration amps? I think it's the latter. Bristleback does 10% more damage and debuffs people for 10% more when they're behind him. Which means Aghanim Scepter... Definitely... Okay, Aghanim Scepter got nerfed by 1 Quill Spray. That is a lot. But you just press W once and now you have 6 again. Okay, Warpath no longer innate. Thanks something. Rescaled. Necrotic Webs. Debuff now only applies if Broodmother is in the same network of webs. Thank something. This was stupid. Oh my god, it was... Dude, it was the easiest exploit ever. Necrotic Webs was an exploit. You could spin it and leave it, and any heroes in it can't heal. Stupid. Now it doesn't work like that. You have to be in the same one. Necrotic Webs, dead. Go for the other one. That actually destroyed Necrotic Webs. Go for Eating Frenzy. It's still without the Bloodthorn, not as strong of a hero, but I still think is going to be strong. Irrationality. Instead of 33% chance to do nothing, now has 33% chance to silence. Why do you nerf this guy?
I bequeath chaos.
Red Lift has equal chance applying break, disarm, or silence for 50% of these debuff. Oh, cringe. More RNG that... Okay, I get it. The whole hero is about RNG, but like... I get fucked by this guy every single time I play this game. Cog push duration decreased. Okay, so it's going to be way harder to hit the 3-man cog than it was before, but I still think it's doable. I'm a cog. I've been a clockwork spammer since the Facet expanded armature and the whole hitting the cogs thing because he's just so fun. He's so fucking fun. If you haven't tried him, play him. I still think he's strong. I played him after the cooldown nerf. I played him after the mana burn nerf, and he's still strong. And I still think he's going to be strong, even with the cog push duration. I still think he's strong. Damage increase per armor decrease. Dude, I've been spamming Clockwork, and I didn't even know this was his innate, to be honest. I just didn't even care. I went Blade Mail Lotus, and I had no idea that it affected it. I just need to come clean about that, but they nerfed it. I didn't even know his innate. I didn't even know what his innate ability was. I read that, and I was like, oh yeah, Clockwork has an innate ability, and I don't know what it is. How many games of Clockwork... He's my most played hero, and I didn't even know what his innate was. Look. In the last 3 months, since the patch, he's my most played hero. And I didn't even know what his innate was. That's embarrassing.
I'm well-oiled.
Now increases mana regen amplification. Increases mana regen amplification. Well, I know the hero to call when there's a Crystal Maiden. You just pick Anti-Mage and she can't regen her mana at all. So, nerfed. I mean, good. I mean, both facets were good. I always pick the Frozen Expanse, but Cold Comfort does seem good for just spamming, especially in lane. Because that's starting at level 1, right? Oh, okay, but it's 25%. Okay, so it's changing by 25%. Or cast range and area effect. 10%? 10% or 50 or 25% more increase to regen. I think that the choice still might be Frozen Expanse. Base strength decreased. Good. I think Darkseer needed a little bit of a nerf. Intelligence now cannot be lower than average of strength and agility. If the average between his strength and agility is higher, he gains bonus intelligence to match them. Okay. Okay. So going through... I didn't even do the Bracer build because I didn't... It was strong, but I would rather just get straight into the utility items. But it's not as strong, so you're not going to see the Bracer spam. You're going to want to get overall stat items, I think. Or like 1 strength, 1 agility, maybe? I don't know. Dazzle! Barrier duration increase. Poison touch. Okay, pretty much negligible. Now gains spirits from Death Prophet's own death while she is dead. And while she is dead. Okay, so Spirit Collector buff, Morning Ritual... New facet. Death Prophet delays a percentage of incoming damage, taking the damage in even intervals over a short duration. Is that just boat buff? It's breakable. So she gets a permanent boat buff? 50% of incoming damage? Taking the damage in 1 second intervals over 5 seconds? She has boat buff. Crazy. I am very curious to see how that works. That's going to be crazy. You can get tormentors with that now. Okay. Cast range increased. Kinetic fence is good now, everybody. Kinetic fence is playable. Said no one ever. Still not playable. Travel distance as damaged. Max damage remains. Okay, so glimpse. I still think it's good. I mean, you're still not picking kinetic fence. You're picking thunderstorm.
From upland Druid I ride.
I didn't think disruptor was that strong, especially against the meta of heroes that were strong. But with the changes that are being made, disruptor might see a resurgence, but it's not going to be with kinetic fence. Impending doom. Every 6.66 minutes, duration is increased by 0.66, doubled in turbo. Damage per second is decreased from 30, 50, 70 to 30, 45, 60. Okay, I'm just curious, because a lot of my games end at like 40 minutes. So I'm just going to say we'll average it at 44 minutes a game. Okay? Divided by... So 44 minutes divided by 6.66 minutes. Goes... So it's going to be times 6... So its duration is increased by 4.5 seconds. Plus 16. So we're seeing at 20.36 second doom at 44 minutes. So Devil's Bargain is good. Gluttony is good. And Impending Doom is funny. But I don't know if it's that good. Interesting. We'll see how it goes. Worm's Wrath, Corrosive Breath, armor reduction decreased to 0. Okay. Well, armor reduction is good. So, good nerf. So, you're just going to go the... I think you're still just going to go Fire Dragon. I don't know. I don't play a lot of Dragon Knight. But if you're a Dragon Knight player, you just got Worm's Wrath. You got Corrosive Dragon nerf. So, you're probably going to go Fire Dragon or Frost Dragon. Sidestep penalty decreased. That's a good change. Draw Ranger was unplayable for the most part, especially in the PL meta. So now you have sidestep, much more functionality with it. New facet. Everybody, Rolling Boulder can now roll over allied heroes for additional bonuses. Rolling over an allied hero grants the allied hero 15, 20, 25, 30% bonus movement speed for 4 seconds. Woo! If he rolls over an allied hero, Earth Spirit will travel further and faster and stun enemies for longer. I think this is the support route. Ready to roll seems fun. Ooh, I want to try it. I'm going to try it. Slugger. Knockback effect is now applied on any kill made by Earthshaker's ability, not just Enchant Totem. Okay. Earthshaker was strong. Oh! And he got Aftershock changed. Spirit Cairn. When Earthshaker dies, a 75 radius fissure is created where he died. This fissure blocks movement and allows Earthshaker to continue to gain experience around it. It remains until Earthshaker respawns. Earthshaker's broken. They just buffed this guy to craziness levels. You're going to see an Earthshaker in every lobby. Oh my god. Oh my god. Slugger buffed and gets XP when he dies. GG everybody. Do not build Blade Mails against Earthshaker because a matter of fact, you're going to kill him anyways. Now you're just going to die, and he's going to get XP anyways, so... Wow. What? I mean, cool. I think it's cool. Yes, cool. But it's probably going to need to get tweaked. I'm going to call it now. This is going to get tweaked. Numbers on Slugger, at least, are going to get tweaked. Okay, tip the scales. W, game design. Allied creeps and buildings affected by glyph of fortification or Russian's banner deal 100% bonus damage. I think it's... good. 100% bonus damage is good. But the thing is, if you're using the Fortify on your creeps at the enemy buildings, it is almost always because the enemy team has also just used Fortify. So now you're going to be using Tip the Scales offensively. Oh, no. No. You're going to Fortify offensively, you're going to die as a 5-man, and then you're going to lose because you don't have Fortify on your own buildings. GG. That's what I'm calling. Bonus speed per hero rescaled. Okay, so yeah, just rescaling. Okay, so no longer an innate flame guard immolation. W game design. Thank you. Ember Spirit is continuously burning, dealing damage per second to all nearby enemies at all times. So this levels with Fire Remnant. So you do 10 damage until level 6, 20 damage until level 12, 30 damage until level 18, and then 40 damage. Can be upgraded by Aghanim Shard and increases the damage by 10, reduce radius by 175, and grants Fire Remnants the current level of immolation. Cool. You get a Radiance. Very nice. What's the damage on Radiance?
And so my legend begins.
60. You get half a Radiance. And then when you get Shard at level 18, you get just a nerfed Radiance. Frost Freebie, ability reworked. New innate. So she's got an innate. All neutral camps deal more damage to enemy heroes. Damage increased by 10% plus 3% per Enchantress's hero level? Wait, I love this. Wait, that's so funny. What's Frost Freebie?
Enchantress.
What is that? Rabble Rouser is so funny. Oh my god, that's so funny. Dude, she wins her lane, and now she nerfs you for going to the jungle. You don't want to leave lane against an Enchantress anymore. It's 10% at level 1. 13% at level 1. Bro, 3% per Enchantress's hero level? Oh my god. Oh my... Dude, imagine going to the jungle and every creep's hitting you for 24% more damage. That's at, like, minute 10. And if she's played as a core, if she's the mid, or something, bad. Yeah, don't pick it mid, I don't think. I don't think that's very strong. But if she gets an early lead and she has a lot of levels, my god, this is going to be broken. Movement slow rescaled from 15% to 9, 11, 13, 15. Now scales with Black Hole. Okay, good. It was broken. But now that I don't think this is super strong, you're still just going to go Event Horizon. Chronosphere renamed from Temporal Impunity to Chronosphere. No longer. Okay, so you just have normal Chronosphere, and then you have Time Zone. I mean, honestly, good. This is a good change. It is kind of lame to have the Facet be what it already used to be, but with Time Zone being an option and Time Walk was broken, or like just a little bit too strong, this is the perfect change, I think. Bonus damage per target increased with Fine Art. Okay. Call down increased. Hoodwink! Get nerfed. That's what I'd be doing to Hoodwink right now. Bonus cast range increase. So Go Nuts increased. Go Nuts buffed, okay? Tree Bounce nerfed? Thank you. Acorn Shot nerfed? Come on. Bonus damage decreased from 55. Dude, that's nothing, bro. My god. Oh my god. I yearn for the days where I can play Witch Doctor as a support and not get 2-tapped by an Acorn Shot at level 3. Fuck's sakes, bro. This shit pisses me off. I'm scrolling. Burning Spear. All spear also burn enemies for 1% of their max health each second. Cost 4% of max health instead of 4% of current health. Duration decreased from 9 to 6 seconds. Max health burn does not affect Roshan. So, Incendiary is crazy. It's a new facet, so he has 3 now. Bloodbath, Mouthful Transfusion, and Incendiary. Incendiary is like the all-in facet. If you've got an Oracle, if you've got a Dazzle, you're running Incendiary. 100%. That is crazy. And, assuming you get an early Morbid Mask, honestly, this is pretty... I think you could... Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. At TI, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a Huskar. He's going to go second item. He's going to go, like... Tread Satanic with Incendiary, and he's gonna go crazy. I'm gonna call it. Shakiro, unchanged. Nerfed, whatever. Juggernaut moved their talents around. Kunkka, wow, a lot of text. Admiral's Rum, new innate ability. Woohoo! I'm just gonna read it from here because it's easier to see. Damage from enemy heroes, buildings, or Roshan that would reduce Kunkka below a threshold causes him to douse himself with Admiral's Rum, receiving bonus movement speed and delayed reaction to incoming damage. Damage delayed. So the Admiral's Rum innate, the Rum buff is what I was talking about with Death Prophet. Death Prophet's is actually stronger, but the Rum buff gives you movement speed. So it's how it pretty much worked before. And Ghost Ship. Allies touched by Ghost Ship receive stronger Admiral's Rum. Okay, so now it's stronger than Queen of... Or, not Queen of Pain. Death Prophet when you're touched by Ghost Ship. So, Tidebringer is no longer an innate. Pogging Champion. Rescaled. Ability removed! Wait, what?
Step lively now. Your Admiral is on board.
They removed... Yes! They removed Torrent Storm. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my god, dude. That was the biggest headache ever was Torrent Storm. Thank something. Thank fuck. Okay. Ghost Ship creates a fleet of 2 ships at the target point on a 2-second interval. Each ship now fires 3 waves of cannonballs from the port and starboard side to deal 40% of the bonus damage they pass through enemies. That probably looks really cool. That's fucking awesome. Okay. I bet you that looks really cool. Legion Commander. Outfight them. New innate. Moment of Courage no longer an innate. Pogging Champ. Thank you, game designers. Attacking an enemy hero that is a higher level than you increases your HP regeneration, lifesteal, and incoming heals by 50%? That's actually... That is the perfect innate. That is, I think, out of every innate that I've read so far tonight, at least, that is the perfect innate. Legion Commander has a fantastic advantage state, but has a horrific disadvantage state. A Legion Commander that's behind in a game just loses 100%. It's so rare that a Legion Commander can come back in a game, and if you have a Legion Commander and you don't win your lane, you don't win early fights, you don't get early duels, chances are you're just going to lose the game. Now you have the Outfight Them innate, which is your get out of jail free card, because now you have bonus lifesteal, bonus HP regen, and incoming heals. So if your team works with you to come back in the game, you're absolutely coming back, because Outfight Them 50%. That's crazy. That is times that, I don't know, dude. That's crazy. 50% for 4 seconds. So it even lingers. Cool. Total damage unchanged, just a little minor tweaks. Rage, new, is this Corpse Eater to Rage. Lifestealer can cast Rage, becoming debuff immune, increasing magic resistance. So they just don't have Corpse Eater anymore. Oh, okay, Feast. Corpse Eater was just moved to Feast, and now he has Rage. Lifestealer can cast Rage, becoming debuff immune, increasing magic resistance. Lifestealer can cast Unfettered to dispel himself and become more resilient. Huh. So you have a Dispel or you have Rage. And you have Corpse Eater as an innate regardless. So I think now we're going to be seeing the Unfettered picked. We weren't seeing it very much because Corpse Eater was just fun. I mean, it was fun. You liked seeing the numbers go up. Now you just have it. Cool. That's W game design, I think. Combustion. Fiery Soul no longer an innate. W game design. Thumbs up again. Passive scales with Laguna Blade. Every 150 damage Lina does to an enemy hero causes them to overheat, doing damage to their nearby allies. This effect can trigger multiple times off a single instance of damage. Overheated illusions do less damage. So, don't group up when fighting against Alina, which you already didn't want to do, but now you're just mega punished for it. You're mega punished for grouping up near Alina. When enemy has no mana remaining, the slow from mana drain is increased by additional. I'm no longer going to get pinged for mana draining enemies with 0 mana when my teammates are chasing them. Dub. Unbearable. Summon Spearbear. Now also increases the attack distance threshold Lone Druid by 500. Okay. Bare necessities. Lone Druid can only use 3 slots of his inventory, but he gets 80% bonus passive stats from them. Scales with true form. Bonuses apply to the following stats. Strength, agility, intelligence, health, mana evasion, attack speed, bonus damage, health, and mana regen. I think you still go unbearable.
Taste this sharpness.
Damn, they're all... I still think unbearable kind of sucks, but I do think bare necessities is a really good option. Okay, so now we have new innate ability. Passive can't be leveled up. Lone Druid can reroll his neutral token once per tier. Strange. Why? He already gets 2. No. Wait. Spearbear can no longer equip its own neutral items. Okay, fine. Wait, copies the cooldowns with Lone Druids? Oh my god. Never mind. L. Gift bearer. Oh, overtuned. That is my slap of overtuned. You are overtuned. Lone Druid's broken. Salaminia's favor removed. We got Lunar Blessing as an innate. Grants 1 attack damage per level to Luna and nearby allied heroes. With Luna receiving double the attack damage bonuses at night. Lunar Blessing is global. Luna is blessed with 400 bonus night vision plus 20 per level. God damn, she's gonna see everything. And we have Lunar Orbit. New basic ability, creates 4 glaives. So she got glaives as her ability. So what about shard? Increases collision damage. Glaives rotate 50% faster. Okay, so you just get glaives. If you knew what glaives did, they're just put as an ability now. And collision damage, that gets buffed by a shard. Now I do think that they're probably eventually going to just create a new shard instead of just buffing it, but that is cool. I think this is good, and I think that this is good. Can no longer be activated. Okay. Bounce is increased. Yes, Luna is back. I'm calling it now. Luna is back. What about those hitting enemies with Lucent Beam and Cleaves? Lunar Orbit, provide damage reduction while active. Okay, now you have damage reduction, which is honestly one of the biggest faults of Luna is how much damage she can take so fast, so... I think we're seeing the return of the Queen, Luna. New facet, Alpha Wolves. Increases max level of Summon Wolves while lowering the max level of Howl. Max level increased to 6. Level 5 Werewolves gain Hamstring. So they get the old Hamstring buff. And it roots enemies, cause them to take more physical damage on attacks. I don't want to see Lycan. I don't want to see Lycan. He's one of my least favorite heroes in the game, and this looks pretty strong, actually. Uh-oh. Renamed from Run Through to Reverse Polarity. So you have Reverse Polarity and Reverse Polarity. Now the tree damage is also just added to skewer. Magnus it's okay. Reverse polarity, good. Skewer, still the same. I think the hero's good, but reverse polarity is never going to see play that's actually good, and I'll eat my words on that when I see it. Bodyguard rescaled. Health gained from lifesteal also now heals bodyguarded allies. So it's just more viability from bodyguard. Facet removed. Now we have venomous volley. Every 5 attacks, Medusa applies poison to her arrow that briefly reduces movement speed, attack speed, and cast speed. No longer a levelable ability. Now has 2.4 damage per mana and gains 0.1 damage per mana per hero level. Illusions gain 60%. Okay, so now we have actually fun. Wait, this is actually cool. Because now we have 2 pressable abilities until you have level 6. Woo! 2 pressable abilities! Instead of having 2 passives and 2 spells, because everybody loves that. And then also having a passive Ags and a passive Shard. This hero had one... Dude, this hero was the old Skeleton King, where you just had Wraith Blast or whatever. Now we have Mystic Snake and Gorgon's Grasp. Medusa fires arrows in a line that land in 3 groups, with each grouping larger than the previous. Enemies struck by a volley of arrows take an initial burst of damage and then are rooted, cannot turn, are revealed to the enemy, and take damage per second. This sounds like an ultimate ability. This is... So it has a delay, but is... Okay, it has a delay. It's an AoE, does damage initially, has a duration, also does damage per second, and it has a long cooldown. This hero actually has 2 ultimate abilities. Pretty cool, though. And that works pretty well with Venomous Volley, so we might see the return of the Queen, but it's also at the same time they've just buffed Anti-Mage, so may not. Because I was getting Medusa's... Dude, I think I had a 0% win rate with Medusa on my team this patch. I did not pick Medusa once, and Medusa lost every single time in my game, so I'd be surprised if her win rate was above 10%. Now, let's hope it gets closer to 50. Murana tweaked. Not the changes we want to see, because honestly, I just kind of want to see Murana a little bit reworked, to be honest. The hero's just not fun. Or at least, like, I don't know. It hurts my brain having Leap and then Arrow, and I'm sure there's other people who've complained about it already. Wukong's command buff with Wukong's Faithful. Primal Spring, damage decrease. Tree Dance, jump speed decrease. That's good. Now it goes on cooldown when taking any damage, not only from player control. I think that's a good buff. I think that's good nerf, because the Primal Spring, the Simian Stride was pretty nuts. Our friend now scales with Pierce the Veil. Now increases Muerta's attack speed when she's within range of her Ofrenda. Ofrenda is no longer destroyed or goes an additional cooldown when Muerta respawns. I don't see it, really. Muerta has such a low pick rate. I never saw this picked. I played Muerta a couple of times and I picked the other facet. I still don't really know when this is actually going to be viable until they move the Roche Pits. Dulge for Naga Siren also caps enemies' movement speed to 225. Huh? This seems a little broken. Riptide, armor reduction. Dulge, slow status resistance reduction? Okay, but they nerfed the duration to 3 seconds. 5 seconds on this would be 3 seconds, but is it slow? So you're just going to get it reapplied over and over and over again is what you're saying. Now increases tree vision, daytime vision. Increases, now requires a single target tree to be selected to cast. And tree movement speed increased. Now use the same tree multiplier, Spirit of the Forest. Okay, so Ironwood Treant. Still, I still think this is only going to be used as a rat. The only time I ever saw Ironwood Treant actually like used and good was when it was using for rats, like rat dodo. Split push. And then they also just buffed Solar Crest, so we might actually see this become a little bit more viable. Mana Burn, Facet, no longer scales with Vendetta, only triggers from Nick's ability damage. Percent of current Mana Burn rescaled from 15 to 30 to just 15. Sixth Sense. Nick's Assassin can detect heroes within, so now reveals enemies in the fog of war. I was already seeing Nick's Assassin getting picked. This seems nuts. And he has a break again. Nick's Assassin sees you when you're sleeping and breaks your passives. God damn. Ogre Magi, strength decrease. Okay, or mana regen. Wow, the rework. Okay. Omni-Knight, degen aura, radius increased. Purification, now upgradable Aghanim Shard. After a 3-second delay, the target is purified again. So you get 2 purifications with Shard. Repel, now provides 60% magic resistance. Cooldown increased to 40 seconds at max level. Aghanim Shard, upgrade removed. So Repel, Shard, nice. Hammer of Purity has been properly converted to be an attack modifier. This removes the delay between the melee attack hit and the pure damage application. No longer spell skillable. No longer procs magic stick. Cringe. Mana cost decreased from... So mana cost decreased? Cooldown decreased? Damage decreased. Yes. Bonus damage decrease. Yes. Please. Oh my god. 4 seconds? Oh my god. I think I have to put this here on my ban list. Guardian Angel changed from unit target ability to point target ability. Now applies Guardian Angel to all allied units in a 40 radius. No longer has 2 charges. Cast range decreased. Cooldown increased. Mana cost increased. Aghanim Scepter upgrade reworked. Now provides global cast range, increased radius, and allows it to affect buildings. Supplies health regen, amplifies health regen, and incoming heals by 100% of the duration's Scepter radius. So it's just old Omni-Knight. Except Hammer Purity on a 4-second cooldown? Guys, what were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking? Talents reworked. Oh my god, imagine the perfect... Okay. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. OD talent reworked. Damage rescaled. Okay. Negligible, I think. Phantom Assassin now destroys projectiles. And the cast point time decreased. Very nice. PA a little bit. Just slightly more viable. Destroying projectiles huge, actually. Bonus illusion damage decreased. Good. This was actually broken. I was spamming it. It's still strong. 2%. Still strong with the tree. Okay, now they nerfed the tree as well. Okay, they also gave him illusory armaments. Gotta give you the thumbs up. Thank you for removing Phantom Rush as an innate, because that was kind of cringe. Items that grant bonus damage instead grant base damage. Okay, I see why they nerfed the illusion damage, because now this hero is just strong. 65%? And then it's in a talent too. 15% illusion... Okay, so you're gonna see Phantom Lancers building. I don't think it's justified to be building Daedalus, but I do think MKB buffed. I do think. Actually, I'm gonna eat my words on that. I think Daedalus is mega strong. I don't know. It just with the base damage with the crit, it seems pretty fucking strong. Okay, reworked. Aghanim Scepter bonus illusion damage decreased. Illusion damage decreased. Illusion damage decreased. Okay, so they nerfed illusions overall, but then gave him base bonus damage, and I think it evens out. If not, is actually might even be stronger depending on your build. Dying Light, radius decreased. Okay, now I'm going to start probably going the other one. Icarus Dive, move slow decreased. I wasn't even scaling it anyways. I think you scale this to level 2. And then you go max in the Ray. Primal Beast, Romp and Stomp, self bonus, move speed increased from 4% to 5%. Active added bonus speed decreased from 6 to 5. Dude, do you want to hang out or not? That's it. Okay. Jesus Christ. Facet reworked. Ferocity now provides 20% AoE increase to all items and abilities per hit. Each hit increases the area effect. What is this sentence? Each hit increased the area of effect of all abilities and items by 20% per hit. God damn. Okay. I think that's actually fucking crazy strong. Shiva's Guard, AoE bonus. I mean, this seems super strong. 20% for 10 seconds? We're going to be seeing some global Shivas, I think. Slow per stack decreased. Okay. They didn't nerf the hero and they added this. Alrighty. Another Primal Beast TI, everybody. Now shows a preview of the orb's trajectory. Okay. I didn't really see this being played at all anyways. Don't know if that's really going to change much. Talents reworked. Don't seem too broken. Also, grants spell amplification per destroyed allied towers.
I bring oblivion.
Interesting. Damage to mana health increased. Another warrior restores mana and health to Pugna based on how much damage is dealt. I think you do go Rewards of Ruin here, but this does seem fun. And then a bunch of talent reworks. Health, Netherward health at level 10. Go with Siphoning Ward. 10% Decrepify movement speed allies changed with Nether Blast cooldown, level 10. So you can have the choice of Nether Blast cooldown or Nether Ward health. Then Decrepify movement speed is moved to 15. You go that instead of the 350 health. Life Drain Heal, Decrepify duration. I think you go Life Drain Heal depending on the game though. Nether Blast damage, 160. Okay, cool. Queen of Pain, Bondage. Whenever an enemy within 1200 range deals spell damage to Queen of Pain, she returns, so she just has passive 15% damage back. And it got buffed. And her strength got buffed. Which is good, because she does damage to herself now, so she needs HP. Got buffed. I'm wondering if that means they're going to use it again, but I'm seeing Queen of Pain's winning games without even leveling this ability, which is crazy to me. Never before seen. You just go Dagon, and they buff Dagon spell amp, so you don't build Shadow Strike for regen, you build Dagon. Crazy. Now also lowers strike cooldown by 2.5 seconds during Eye of Storm. While Eye of Storm is active, strike chance is 2 times as high. Strike cooldown is reduced. So now strike cooldown is reduced by 2.5 seconds. So you're just going to be zapping even harder. Okay. Ricky, Exterminator. Agility bonus when attacking non-hero units increased. So it just makes Aghanim's even stronger. So he's just Mega Farmer now. Cooldown decreased. Very good. You do want to get... I do think people skipping this in lane is kind of bad. So now you have another incentive too. But you're only ever using it every now and again though. Like the cooldown decrease actually doesn't matter much because he doesn't have enough mana to cast it multiple times. Might and Magus. Bonus attack damage per spell amplification decreased. I didn't really see this changing much. This is going to be a big nerf, though. Spell amp decreased from 14 to 11, and then... That's a big nerf. But it remaining the same at max level is kind of a blunder. I think they definitely should have nerfed it. But I didn't really see this affecting much. It's going to affect mid, I think, and that was hardly ever played. Dust Devil, area of effect buffed? Okay, they must have nerfed something because... Aghanim Scepter upgrade removed. Okay, I need to start from scratch. Aghanim Scepter, when the pulses start, 3 stinger attack areas are created every 0.5 at random locations, each measuring 50% of the epicenter current radius that apply 50% of stinger damage. Enemies hit shard pulses cause 1 attacks. Okay, so instead of it applying mini burrow strike things to stun you, it does stinger that's slow and does damage. I think overall that's more fun. I do think overall that's more fun. Because getting stunned by the random chance thing in his Aghanim's thing with the in the sandstorm was so lame. Caustic Finale. Max health damage rescaled up. Lower at first, but then increased up at the end. Duration rescaled from 6 seconds. Now it scales all 4 levels of Caustic Finale with Stinger. Oh, it levels with Epicenter. Never mind. Okay, Stinger now procs Magic Stick. W. That's a good thing. Mana cost increased. Cooldown increased. Bonus damage now extra physical damage instead of bonus attack damage. I wonder what that matters for. Like, what scenario does that matter for? Bonus attack damage versus physical damage? I guess it doesn't get blocked by the passive block, right? For melee heroes? Bonus attack damage increased from 40, 80, 120 to 160 to 35, 70, 105, 140. So just nerfed a little bit. Cooldown increased. Mana cost increased. Attack damage decreased. Just nerfed. But now is applied in the epicenter Aghanims. So strong. We'll see how strong though. Because we did have a Sand King patch. He was strong for a patch. So we'll see him strong again in 2029. Shadow Demon, Disseminate, current health loss increased, and cooldown decreased. I had a really high win rate with this hero, and they're buffing him. So I'm still probably going to have a really high win rate with this hero, is what I'm seeing. Shadow Fiend now improves Necromastery with Lasting Presence. Every hero kill increases max souls by 1 until Shadow Fiend dies. So he's like an all-in, but like for the Galvanized stacks for Storm Spirit, except Shadow Fiend is an all-in. Interesting. No longer increases by default. Shadow Rays, stack duration decreased. Mana cost increased. Max line width decreased. Fear duration per soul hit decreased. Probably good. It seemed a little overtuned, especially with the Kaya Sanj. Or Kaya Yasha. The cast speed increased on this hero was really stupid. Massive Serpent Ward gets buffed to 10 times. Actually could be viable now, honestly. That was the biggest thing. Is if you're playing against a team that was somewhat coordinated, they just killed it in like 2 hits. Like in 2 seconds, I mean. Shard, Serpent Ward linger duration increased. Good, thank you. I was still farming decently well. You can see this game, I got shard and I farmed more than a lot of heroes. And in this game, I didn't get shard and we lost. Well, honestly, we lost because my... Never mind. Shackles duration replaced with Hex breaks. Okay, so the Shackles duration moved to level 20 is actually kind of nuts. Let's see it. So Shackles total damage at level 10. Okay. So they moved the talent tree around, and it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. I'll tell you why it's a good thing. Because now every single choice matters, and I'll tell you why it's a bad thing is because now every choice matters. There quite literally was a best set of talent to pick, left, right, or whatever, right, as an example. But now you actually have a choice in each one, and the more choices you need to make, the harder your game is. So technically it's a nerf, but overall I think is a buff. Brain Drain. If Silencer kills an enemy hero, he permanently steals 1 intelligence. So permanent intelligence decreased to 1. And for shard to 3. This hero was already bad. Oh my god. Now also steals intelligence if the dying unit was debuffed by Silencer. Wait, even if he was out of range? Oh. No, still bad. Don't play this hero. No. Nope. Especially not as a core. If you pick this hero as a core, get reported. I think it could still work. It works as a 5. But you can no longer scale. You're no longer really going to scale to a core. So the build is utility items or Ags Refresher, depending on the game. You want to go full utility? But if you're going to go full utility, just pick a different hero, okay? PSA. You have 2 builds with this hero. Full utility, support, or Aghanim's Refresher. This hero got nerfed. If you're going to go the utility build, pick a different hero. Ags Refresher is the only reason you build this hero. Barrier duration decrease. It's cringe. I don't know. I didn't really play the hero this patch. Rune Restoration spell, lifesteal replaced with concussive shot slow. Kinda bad, but... I don't see it. Concussive shot slow? Oh no, they'd remove the concussive slot show. What? It says it's replaced with concussive shot slow, but I don't see it. So it still just says Ruin and Restoration spell lifesteal. But it says 15. It says 15% here and it says 20% here. I think that this is an issue. I think this is supposed to be concussive shot slow, but it just is a buffed Ruin and Restoration. Alright, moving on. Slardar, Slitherine Crush, Aghanim Scepter Puddle duration decreased, Aghanim Scepter Puddle radius decreased, Talent Corrosive Haze armor increased. I still think it's good. It's a very minimal radius and duration. It's just got a longer downtime, which is bad, but the radius is negligible, but the duration is something to consider when building Ags. Base damage increased by Slark by 3 on Slark. And then talents reworked. Shadowlands talents reworked, just buffed. Snapfire impact damage increased from 7140 to 10 280 to 7145 220 to 295. Town count decreased. As a Phoenix player, I'm pumping my fist to that one. I was getting fucked every single time I played Phoenix. 5, and it nerfs the 25 talent. Oh my god, and they nerfed the 25 talent. Pumping my fist. I was getting annoyed by all these snapfires that were just playing support all game and then being able to one-shot my entire team. Like, that was kind of stupid. Attack range bonus increased. Keen scope.
Into the breach.
So you only take one level and take aim for the bonus attack range. Now we have keen scope. Sorry, I didn't play sniper much this patch, so I didn't know that this is what his innate was. So they just nerfed, or they increased the attack range, scary. Increased the damage, scary, and 30% shrapnel damage instead of attack range. That is pretty scary. I think Sniper is going to see a comeback. I think he was already pretty strong if you played him correctly. And now he's stronger. Spec. Mana cost decreased on Spectral Dagger. Buff. Damage reflected increased. Buff. And talent regen buff. So Spec just buffs. Put the pants on the Spec. Spirit Breaker, Bull Rush, Charge of Darkness, Lingering bonus movement speed is now determined by Spirit Breaker's current bonus speed instead of always the max. And now gradually ramps up. I think these are good because Spirit Breaker was able to just enter fights at max speed and disengage at max speed always, and it was kind of lame. Now it's instead of always, it is lingering and gradually. So, kind of cool. I appreciate that buff, or that change, rather. It's a nerf. It's a nerf. Storm Spirit Shot Color debuff now grants that... Debuff now grants that the next attack the enemy is redirected onto themselves and triggers the Overload Charge? That is kind of funny. Imagine you're playing a hero with crit, and you just crit yourself. I'm assuming that's how that works, because that seems pretty strong. Talents reworked. Attack range. Overload damage. That's a nerf. 20 talent. Electric Vortex duration decreased. Electric Vortex duration decreased from 0.3 to 0.2. Nerf. Talent Auto Remnant in Ball Lightning Distance decreased. Buff. So we got 2 nerfs in the tree, 1 buff in the tree, and the Electric Vortex buff. Sven, bonus armor decreased. Thank you. Aghanim Shard no longer passively grants allies movement speed. Thank you. Aghanim Shard now increases active movement speed by additional 3%. No big deal. Might see less Sven support. God Strength cooldown reduction decreased from 15 seconds to 12. Warcry armor decreased from 10 to 8. Nerfs. Each point of attack speed now also grants 1 attack projectile speed. Did anyone ever pick this?
They call me Squee.
They call me Spleen.
They don't know I'm here.
I don't think I ever saw anybody pick this. You saw Spoon Stash, and then I tried Spleen's Secret Sauce, which is fun. Maybe I should definitely give this a try. You just become Mega Sniper Man. Facet reworked. Oh, because we got Third Eye. Thumbs up. It's been a minute. But thumbs up. Third Eye. New innate ability. Templar Assassin and her teammates can see Roshan's respawn timer. That's nuts. Please tell me they nerfed the hero. Because that's nuts. Attacking a target with Meld also applies the bonus damage debuff to enemies hit by Psyblade's spill. Okay, so buff to Void Blades. Meld. Armor reduction duration decreased from 12, so halved. Knocked in half. Bonus damage and reductions are now applied when denying allies or traps. Okay. No longer an innate ability. Thank you. Bonus attack. Okay, they rescaled it. Traps no longer provide vision inside the Roshan pit. Traps now always take 2 hits to kill by ranged attackers, 1 by melee, 4 by creeps. Okay, it's a TA meta. Got it. Attack range increased. Terrorblade. Intelligence increased. Cooldown decreased to 140. 10 seconds. Timbersaw. Splinter's slow duration increased to 1 second. Mana per tree destroyed increased. So it's still I still think this sucks. The hero's okay, but I still think this sucks. Repair bots heal per second increased. I haven't seen this played in a ranked match. I've only seen this in unranked and it lost. So hopefully this is enough to change that. Damage barrier decreased. And now always teleports target enemy to the ability's current cast range. Plus 100 from Tinker's position when he threw the flare. Will not teleport units that are over 2,000 range away from desired position. Will now pull a unit towards Tinker if they are moving away from him while the projectile is mid-air. Okay, so it can be kind of used as a catch in a way. Like a pseudo glimpse, but also a push away. I mean, that's kind of cool. Toss, nerf please, nerf please. Crash landing, radius decrease. Thank you. Bonus landing damage decrease. Not by enough, but still good. Damage no longer pierces magic resistance granted by debuff immunity. Thank you. Now you just build BKB against Tiny, everybody. Toss, bonus damage decreased to 300. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Especially these two, 50 and 175. Huge, because he's no longer the level 6 and level 12 beast that he was. Now you have to get to level 18. I think that may be adequate nerfs that Tiny may needed. And even the talent got nerfed. Thanks something. Shard total damage changed from 200 to 100 plus 75% of Treant's base attack damage. Could you imagine Treant mega based attack damage from that PL buff, and now it's just ulting people for their whole HP. Okay, Berserker's Rage no longer an innate. Okay, so now Battle Stance is the innate. And it looks like they just rescaled it and nerfed the damage on ranged, and Fervor Shard base attack chance decreased from 18 to 16. Huh? Aghanim Shard base attack chance decreased? I guess I gotta see what a shard does. Increases max fervor stacks chance to fervor stack of firing an additional ranged attack. Oh, okay. Aghanim Shard attack chance per fervor stack decrease. So they nerfed. It's just overall seems like a nerf. And then Berserker's Rage. Again, Berserker's Rage. So you just have a slow and a root. Okay. I'm not gonna try to begin to understand this hero at all. It's Troll Warlord is like my least played hero in the game, so I actually just genuinely don't understand this really. Can now be put on all cast, only pull Tusk towards his targeted ally. Actually necessary quality of life. Very nice. Atrophy Far Aura no longer an innate. Thumbs up to the devs. Thank you. Underlord. New innate ability scales the Fiend's Gate. After an allied hero teleports, they temporarily gain damage reduction and movement speed. So invading force just kind of puts the buff from Fiend's Gate onto it. So not necessarily what we were looking for a new thing, but it is kind of cool to have it as an innate. And now they can change it, and it isn't nerfing Fiend's Gate specifically, but they are. Wait, after an ally hero teleports. Oh, so this is just put on allies that teleport now instead of Fiend's Gate. Wait, never mind. Redact what I just said. Invading force, allies receive 2 times if they use Fiend's Gate. Cool. And I'm guessing this works with the twin gates as well. The Roshan gates. Very nice. With the changes to Roshan gates as well, actually good. Rescaled this. Talent changes, nerf. We see Fiend's Gate movement speed, bonus attack, invading force. Nerf, but also when you're using the Fiend's Gate, it's actually just evens out. Pit of Malice, slow, decreased. Actually, no. So this is not a nerf. This is actually a buff. Because it just works all the time now. And now you still get the full usage. So I think it's not overall nerf. It's actually just remaining the same, if not buffed. Okay. Ceaseless Dirge can no longer be refreshed. That's kind of funny. Tombstone cooldown rescaled from 90 to 75 to just 80 seconds. Slow decreased on Flesh Golem by 5%. Flesh Golem strength bonus decreased from 60 to 50. Bear down duration decreased from 20% to 14 to 20%. Now scales within rage. I don't think this is enough to take Ursa out of the game. This is the facet that I was using, and I still think it's good. Because you get to level 18 really fast. So I don't think this is actually a big nerf at all. When attached to the carrier, the ward's health is now increased by % of the carrier's max health. Septic Shock. Thumbs up to the devs. Thank you for making a new and exciting ability. Venomancer's attacks deal extra damage based on how many debuffs the attack target has. Extra damage is dealt as magic damage only counts debuffs from Venomancer or his Plague Wards. And is buffed by Ags. Can be upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. Increases Septic Shock base damage per debuff from 10 to 20%. Plague Wards also deal Septic Shock damage based on their attack damage. This seems fun. This seems fun. This is the Vessel build. Septic Shock Vessel. What else? Imagine Shiva's Guard, Vessel, Septic Shock. You are just putting... You're going to put the player into a Septic Shock. Corrosive Skin, no longer innate. Thumbs up to the devs. Viper's attacks deal an additional instance of physical damage per missing health. % of the target hero equal to 0.25 plus 0.05 per Viper's level. Kind of cool. Isn't this what Corrosive Skin used to have like 10 years ago? But now is his innate. So honestly, kind of cool. I believe this is how Corrosive Skin... Or he had like another... Dude... You cannot quote me on this, but before Nether Toxin was a thing, there was a passive that worked just like this. So, kind of cool. Death Toll Visage new facet. Soul Assumption kills give 35 per soul charge up to 210 gold. 15% gold from creeps. Enemy heroes killed within 3 seconds being affected by Soul Assumption also give gold. So you're just going to be Mega Farmer. And Gravekeeper's Cloak no longer an innate. Thumbs up to the devs. Visage ability cooldown durations are reduced as long as he's not taking damage. Okay. Grants a stack every 2 seconds that reduces your cooldown by 2% up to 10 times. So you have 20% cooldown reduction if you don't take damage. I wonder if that builds up while you're dead. Because you just respawn and ult and whatnot. Cool. I wonder how this is going to affect him. But that's cool. I like that. It seems strong? Question mark. But I'm not sure if it's strong enough to be crazy, because you're going to be taking damage all the time. You take damage all game. Okay. Damage reduction per layer rescaled from just buffed. Layer recovery time nerfed. Mana cost increased. Duration decreased. Bonus damage decreased. For Silent as the Grave. Okay. Facets. Symmetry removed for Void Spirit. New Call of the Void facet. Disseminate. Upon exiting Dissimulate, Aether Remnants are created at the 3 portals furthest from Void Spirit that last 4 seconds. No effect if reassembling from the center portal. Remnants face towards the center portal and have reduced pull duration and damage. 60% effectiveness. Aether Remnant watch distance endpoint is always fixed, meaning that the increased watch distance will spawn the remnants further away from the center portal. Cool. I wonder if it's going to be good, but it's cool. I definitely think that this getting buffed at the same time means Call of the Void may not be used, but Sanctuary is also good. Call of the Void seems cool, and if you can get it off, like say with a comboing with your teammates or something, it seems pretty strong. Now grants physical damage barrier, base damage barrier, barrier amount per hero hit. So with 1 hero hit, you get 180 barrier. 2 heroes hit, you get 260. So on and so forth. Warlock, Shadow Word. The heal got rescaled and buffed later levels, nerfed early levels. And Shadow Word heal replaced with Shadow Word AoE in the talent tree. Very nice. Shadow Word AoE is kind of cool, because I'm guessing that stacks with the... because it already heals in an AoE. It has a 30 radius. Now you have multiple heroes with Shadow Word, or multiple units with Shadow Word, and I'm guessing that the heal will stack, making him a viable healer again. New innate ability, passive can be leveled up. Hey, Gemini attack, no longer an innate. Thumbs up to the devs. Thank you. Every time Weaver casts an ability, he gains 50 attack range for 7 seconds. This effect stacks independently. He's already strong. And Skitter Step untouched.
More hates for me too.
Why was it untouched? Cooldown rescaled. Okay, they just rescaled Geminite. Okay, well, they just gave him a new ability after he was already like the strongest core of the patch for a little while. Interesting. And one of the strongest supports. Renamed from Tailwind to Focus Fire. And then... so no longer grants additional bonus movement speed to Wind Ranger and all our allies. Very nice. It's a change that needed to happen, because you had one facet that gave you one thing and then one facet that gave you two, if you think about it. Because you got Focus Fire how it is, not Whirlwind style, and then you also got the Wind Run buff, so now you're just getting Focus Fire or Whirlwind. So it's very similar to the Faceless Void thing. Self-heal increased. I know a guy who's going to love this change. Base damage increased. I'm the guy who loves this change. Voodoo Restoration self-heal actually nuts now for Festoration users. I have a friend that goes Dagon, Pos 4, Witch Doctor, and it actually works because of the spell Lifesteal. And now you get bonus mega healing off of it. That's Voodoo Festoration unnerfed for you. Last but not least, to wrap up this 2-hour video, Lifesteal increased from 20, 30, 40, 50% to 26, 34, 42, 50%. Now decreases respawn timer by rate duration. Aghanim Scepter no longer reduces respawn time. Grants the Wraith King lifesteal when slain. Wraith King turns into a free pathing Wraith with bonus attack, damage, movement speed. So they increase the lifesteal, decrease the respawn timer, and Ags no longer affects it. And the Wraith Fire damage, blast, impact, DPS was buffed. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you guys, had a good time going through the patch with me. That's all for today. If you guys want me to go through any specific heroes, facets, or anything like that, leave a comment in the description. I will follow up with a video on more specific stuff changed here, depending on requests. Otherwise, I'm going to keep working on the things I'm working on. I'm working on a hero guide right now, and it's really cool timing because the hero actually wasn't changed in here. So that is... Actually, the hero was changed. I lied. But that's your hint. The hero was changed in here. GG. Have a great day, everybody. If you're watching this, I am probably live. If you're watching this midday tomorrow, I'm going to bed after uploading this. Good night.